What's up, guys, and welcome to the new series Side by Side Comparisons. Who is first up on the docket? Godspeed. But before we do that, if you are new here, please hit the subscribe button. Please like this video and make sure you have the alerts turned on so you never miss another one of my wonderful nerdy videos. All right, let's jump right into it. Let's start with his comic book origin. August Hart was a police officer for the Central City Police Department. He was also a close friend of Barry Allen. He also had a brother who was a cop in the department. His brother was killed while on patrol one day. He was devastated by that. There were no witnesses to the crime, but evidence collected by the department led to the arrest of a career criminal named Billy Parks. Now, when Barry Allen was struck by lightning and gained his powers, that evidence was destroyed, so Billy Parks went free. Years later, Barry Allen was now the Flash, and August continued to work in the CCPD. August was investigating a case where important technology was stolen from Star Labs by a shady organization. August recognized the group's symbol, connected to his brother's murder, and became reckless with his investigation. Blowing his cover, August was shot at by black hole operatives, but due to the group's experiments on the Speed Force, they had simultaneously created a Speed Force storm that struck August with a bolt of lightning, giving him super speed. That's also the Speed Force storm that gave speed to characters like Mina Darwin and Wallace West and Avery Hull. Now, August was fast enough to catch the oncoming bullets and subdue his attackers. August was eager to become a vigilante like the Flash, and designing his own costume helped the hero track down all the other people who were affected by the Speed Force storm. The two met Dr. Mina Darwin, a new speedster who had created a Speed Force training center to help the new speedsters control their powers. Now, this was a really fun comic book read, guys, because it was literally normal people in the city just had powers. Like, the Speed Force storm didn't just strike, it struck random people, but it was a lot of random people. Like, it was crazy. 2016 Rebirth line, I really recommend it. It was great. It brought DC back to what it needed to be as far as comic books go. Now, around this time, while the Flash and Mina recruited new speedsters together, August was apparently critically injured by a new masked speedster calling himself Godspeed. According to August, Godspeed killed a number of recruits to siphon their speed, and he was not able to stop him. August recovered and continued to aid the Flash and the new heroes, defeating Dr. Carver, the leader of Black Hole, and trying to uncover the mystery of Godspeed. Eventually, the villain became sloppy when Barry realized one of his victims was Billy Parks, Jorge Hart's supposed killer. Barry pieced together that August was Godspeed. So yes, August was going around pretending to be the Flash's new sidekick, as well as being Godspeed at the same time. He was running so fast that he could be in two places at once. That's where the show got the whole cloning himself thing. But in the comics, when August did that, he significantly split his power off, as we see with other speedsters in the show when they do like time remnants and speed mirages and whatnot. This was something more along the lines of a time remnant, where it was a fully actualized physical version of August, just splitting the two. Now, Barry confronted him with the information, and August confessed. He admitted that he had given up on the justice system since his brother's killer had gone free, and with his newfound power, had the ability to become judge, jury, and executioner. August realized after he had gotten his powers that he also had the ability to steal other speedsters' speed, though for a time he could only do it by killing them. He practiced his skill to be able to do it non-lethally as well. With his new godlike speed, August was able to move so fast as to create a duplicate of himself at any given time, allowing him to give the illusion that he and Godspeed were different people, just like I said. After a brief fight, Barry realized that August had become too fast to fight and was forced to retreat when the villain was distracted. In the lead up to the penultimate confrontation, Flash called on the new speedsters to donate their Speed Force connection to him so he could be fast enough to stand a chance against Godspeed. They did so, and Barry tracked down Godspeed for a rematch. Ready to battle once again, August set his sights on the Iron Heights Penitentiary, ready to do what he claimed the Flash was too weak to do: kill all his enemies, including Eobard Thawne. However, the new Kid Flash, Wallace West, intervened during the final fight and helped the Flash finally take down Godspeed, and August was imprisoned in Iron Heights. Now, while he was in prison, he did have a reformation. He became good again or whatever, I guess. That's when he became a part of the quote unquote Flash family. He became an anti-hero, which is what I feel the show should have done. Godspeed was never a villain outright. Myself and so many other content creators have been preaching that since he was introduced on the show. He was never just a flat out villain. Now let's fast forward. Godspeed returns to antagonize Barry, but only because he was being manipulated and basically blackmailed by Paradox. Paradox is a villain that we wanted to see introduced as well. I will do a video on him at a later date, but just know he came back and was just like, come on. Like, here's a picture of him just dragging Barry. Like literally. But Godspeed reveals, that he was just a double agent to gain Paradox's trust and assist Barry in fighting Paradox head on. Now, we get to his death and resurrection. After stopping Paradox, August is killed by the Reverse Flash. Thawne tells a dead Godspeed that no one will remember him, and he has seen their future where neither of them have a statue in the Flash Museum. Devastated by Thawne's actions, Barry vows to kill Thawne. Later, Barry visits August's grave to pay his respects. However, when Barry defeats Thawne and resets him, he visits the 25th century, where a section of the Flash Museum is dedicated to Godspeed. In the present, the marking on August's grave are blurred out by a streak of yellow lightning, showing that Godspeed is alive and will be known enough to be immortalized in the Flash Museum along with the other Flashes in the future. Eobard Thawne also revealed that he's the one that killed Godspeed's brother. So, yes, we all know Thawne's a dick. We all know. Now, when you compare the Godspeed of the comics to the Godspeed of the show, the comic book version is far superior. I mean, his powers and abilities are being a Speed Force conduit, of course, superhuman speed, superhuman stamina, agility, reflexes, strength. You know, he has an aura, accelerated healing, dimensional travel, electrokinesis. You know, what they tried to show us with the sword. He can make constructs or whatever, solid energy constructs. He can also split itself, making speed scouts, time travel, vortex creation. He can do all of this. He also has a genius level intellect, deception, firearms, hand-to-hand combat, interrogation, and investigation because of his skills as a police detective. Now, he also has power and stability if he stays using a clone for too long. Now, when we get to the show's version of Godspeed was literally just a Velocity 9 junkie. I didn't really like that. Nobody really liked the show's Godspeed. The show's Godspeed was literally a Velocity 9 junkie, and then when they brought him back to give him a full-fledged character origin, well, they made him a guy who's obsessed with killing a 18-year-old and still a Velocity 9 junkie, but he wants organic speed. He just kept sending clones, Speed Force scouts out to, you know, do this Godspeed war. And it never really added up to me. If they adapted the comic book story to an extent, I think it would have worked out really, really well. We would have had another mystery story. Of course, people would know who it was, but Barry wouldn't. To see him trying to figure this out and put this all together, I think it would have been really cool to see, and they could have played with the mythology a little bit better than what they did. Hi, this is Futurelance dropping in from while I'm editing this video. I also wanted to add, the main reason people wanted Godspeed on the show was because of the suit. The suit looks cool. Godspeed, all in all, is not a top tier Flash character. He's an anti-hero. He wanted justice. He achieved justice, ended up being killed, and resurrected. He was never a top tier introduced character. He was cool when he was first introduced in the comics, do not get me wrong. But the only reason people really want to see him on the show is because of the suit. At the end of the day, it's a cool suit. I don't know what else there is to say. Comparatively, yes, comic book Godspeed is better than the TV show by a long shot. The TV show butchered the character of August Hart. So, who wins this? I mean, it's really up to you guys. But in my personal opinion, I didn't envision that version of Godspeed that we got on the show, and the version that we got in the comics is far superior. But we already had a lot of Flash allies. And, Godspeed would have been relegated to just laying on the floor if we would have gotten a comic book accurate story or something close to it. So, yes, I'm picking the comic book version, but at the same time, I'm indifferent towards the whole thing. So, what character you guys want to see next? Check you later.